So I wanted to come on here and give you my thoughts on the possibility that at midnight tonight we could have a double strike become a reality. And that's the Actors Guild joining the Writers Guild. Now I'm still staying firm by the fact that I believe this writer's strike is going to end before this year is out. And I think we're getting close to it because what's going on right now is that apparently there is going to be a federal mediation or mediator being brought in to try to negotiate some kind of deal between the actors and the SAG guild, if you will, and the group, the producer group, whatever they are, the producers that are basically responsible for trying to ensure things like this don't happen. That everybody is pretty much given fair opportunity. Well, apparently, like I said, this mediator is being brought in to pretty much try to figure out exactly what they can do to broker a deal between both sides. Now, the Actors Guild obviously is like, look, we're not going to get manipulated by this ploy. We know that because what they believe is that part of this mediation is to try to maybe broker another extension, and they don't want to do that. They're not going to fall for that. But we'll see. We'll see what comes out of it because they have till midnight tonight. Now, what I see happening though is I do see some kind of deal being made. Now, it's mere speculation on my part, but what I see happening is basically a deal will be made, but it'll be like a temporary deal, like a ceasefire. And what I mean by ceasefire is the fact that basically, they'll broker something that's going to be like to at least the end of the year, and that would give them enough time, at least on the whatever company, whatever guild that is, the main people, if you will, like I said, that's responsible for both the writers and the actors guild. That would give them enough time to come up with a full-fledged deal. Like, yeah, we'll give you, like, I think what could happen, again, mere speculation, is that a temporary ceasefire-like deal will occur. Like, they'll get, like, the actors will get what they want, or at least part of what they want, if you will, maybe with double or triple what they're asking for, for the time being. Like, they'll get, like, maybe like from a pay perspective, they'll get like double, triple, quadruple what they're asking for, as well as maybe a little bit of health and, health insurance and stuff like that, but not the full-fledged deal. Like basically this temporary deal that I could see happening, again, I might be wrong, is basically something that would hold them, that basically it would be something that they could hold on to, at least soothe them, if you will, until the end of the year, and that basically if a new full-fledged deal of everything that they want is not done, then they can go on strike. Like basically, here's part of what you're asking for. Here's the appetizer of what you're asking for, and you'll get the full-fledged meal hopefully at the end of the year. And if not, go and do what you got to do. I think that could happen. Now I look at this and I ask myself, well, if this group, these people that are responsible for ensuring peace, in the Actors Guild and the Writers Guild and all guilds when it comes to Hollywood, apparently, here's my question: why didn't they try this with the Writers Guild? Why didn't they go out of the way to do this with the Writers Guild? Say, hey, let's hold our horses here, guys. Let's bring in allow us to bring in a federal mediator to work things out. It's like, why didn't they do that like they're doing here? That's what doesn't get me. Now I can understand that the reason they don't want the actors to strike is because that's going to push a lot of things back a lot further. Like the fall season, that could be in a lot of trouble. But I don't think the fall season is going to get infected, whatsoever. I believe something is going to happen. It may not be, it may be what they want. It may not be what they want, entirely, but it'll be something. Like I said, I think the best route they could go, mere speculation, if I was this mediator, trying to broker a deal, I think the best route that could be done is to give the actors partially what they're asking for, and maybe quadruple, the pay rate and everything, uh, during this temporary deal, this temporary truth, if you will, of a deal. Basically, triple or quadruple that pay rate that they're asking for, with this temporary deal. That way, you can avoid a strike, and it does kind of give you a little bit of an extension, but not much. It only gives you to the end of the year, and if you can't do something by the end of the year, then by a legal agreement, you got to let them strike. You got to let them do what they got to do. Now, if that is to happen, again, I could be wrong. But if that is to happen, then fine. Then fine. Everything is pretty much cool beans, kind of somewhat smooth sailing, rough. Well, not smooth sailing, but it's kind of like rough, very rocky smooth sailing, if you will, for the people that have to broker this deal, because now they have one strike that they pretty much avoided. They pretty much avoided a double strike. Now, if they get something done here, which again could be giving the actors what they're asking, just say, hey, I could just see the mediator saying, look, guys, you got the money and everything, just give them what they want. Just give them what they want. We know, Netflix, Apple, you guys got the money, give them what they want. Amazon, you got the money, give them what they want. Be done with it. Don't be stingy. I can see the mediator doing that, and maybe the mediator might even bring up something from a legal perspective, saying, hey, by not, giving them what they want, you're pretty much violating such and such law, and it could get you in a lot of legal trouble. So I could see maybe the mediator bringing up some kind of like, I guess you could say, loophole that would give the actors what they want, that the studios would have no choice but to be like, okay, fine, here you go, and everything. So something's going to come out. Something's going to come out of this. I do believe that's going to happen. Now, if it doesn't, I do not believe this double strike, which would be the first time it's ever happened in 53 years. Well, not 53, 63 years. 63. That's a long time. A little over half a century. But I don't see this double strike, if it occurs. I don't see it lasting into the fall. I don't. Because eventually it's not just going to affect the studios financially, but it's going to affect the actors and the actresses. It's going to affect the writers. They're all going to feel it. So I don't think it's going to last much longer. I think the longest it might last is up into at least mid-September, early October. That's when I see it lasting. Maybe even early November. I'll put it this way: time rate wise, my speculation is I think this double strike, if it happens, for the first time in 63 years, I see it lasting to at least mid-September to early November. That's how long I see it lasting. But after that, I think something will be brokered and everything will go back to the way it is, or the way it should be. And again, I honestly do believe that some kind of deal will be made with the Actors Guild. Whether it's a temporary truth kind of deal where they get partially what they're asking for, but let's say pay rate wise, that pay rate that they're asking for is quadrupled, for the time being, until an actual deal, a real full-fledged deal could be made by the end of the year. Or I see them getting what they want. And then after this, I think the Writers Guild, if the Actors Guild gets what they want, or partially gets what they want, I think what's going to happen is they're going to take this, they're going to go to the Writers Guild, and they're going to say, okay, look, we brokered the deal with the actors. We gave them partially what they want with these terms that if a full-fledged deal can't be made by the end of the year, they can start 2024 by striking. I could see them taking something like that to the Writers Guild and said, hey, we're willing to do the same for you and everything. And if we don't broker a full-fledged deal by the end of the year, you can strike at the beginning of 2024, or you can resume your strike in 2024. I can see that. Occurring, or I could see them giving the Actors Guild what they want, and then learning from that and saying, okay, fine, let's give the writers what they're asking for. And then I think the writers will get, what they're asking for. I truly do. So either way, if a deal gets brokered by the Actors Guild, about before midnight tonight. Either it's partially what they want with an agreement to try to get a full-fledged deal done by the end of the year to avoid a strike at the beginning of 2024. I could see them taking that and applying it to a possible negotiation with the Writers Guild as well to try to get something going for the time being. Or if the actors get what they fully want, I could see them, again, taking that to the Writers Guild and say, hey, fine, we'll give you what you want, da, da, da. So I could see that. But again, either way, I do not see this possible double strike, happen. I possibly do not see this double strike, if it happens, lasting too long. I see it lasting only to at least mid-September to early November, because financially it's going to affect everybody, and I don't think anybody's going to want that. But let me know what your thoughts are, guys. Comment below, live chat during the premiere. Check out my BW Roast Discussions podcast, especially on Spotify. Superchats are live in the live chat if you open in the live chat if you're willing to donate that way. But guys, give me your thoughts down below, and in the live chat where Superchats are open and would be appreciated. And I'll talk to y'all later.